has nearly 8 million registered voters, and turnout is expected to be extremely high. It already has been from what we've seen.
Our pollster Richard Zuba said he expects Michigan to shatter voter turnout records. The Secretary of State estimates 3 million absentee ballots will be counted. Add to that the predicted in-person turnout of around 2 million. And it all adds up to an expected total voter turnout in our state of more than 5 million.
And for the most part, those 2 million traditional Election Day voters have encountered few problems at the polls today, happy to say.
That there have been some issues, though, just a few. For a look at those, let's bring in consumer investigator Hank Winchester out there checking to make sure everyone's vote counts. Hank, good evening.
Kimberly, Devin, good evening to both of you. Let's get to some of those raw numbers. The Secretary of State telling us tonight 3.2 million absentee ballots have already been returned in the state, and about 19,000 people across the state went to register today. In fact, take a look at some video from Ann Arbor. This is one of the satellite clerk offices on the campus at U of M. We've been seeing longer lines at clerks' offices across Metro Detroit as people work to vote today. If you come back out here live here in Sterling Heights at this middle school, I want to show you the line here. It's been steady all day long since 7 a.m. this morning, taking people about 50 minutes to an hour and a half to get in and out and vote. And as you'll see, long lines, well, they're expected, but there have been a few other small glitches. Some lines in some communities and some confusion and concern in others on this election day. We begin in Westland at this church, which has always been a voting location, but not today. It took some who came to vote by surprise.
Got here and doesn't look like this is a voting poll location, but I don't see any signs for a different location.
The clerk tells me notifications were sent out to voters telling them the location had recently changed. In fact, he tells me he's been working to get the word out since September. Yet some still had no idea.
It's frustrating because I double-checked the voting location to make sure that this was the right place, and to come here and it was the wrong place, it's not going to discourage me, but it may discourage other voters.
Then there's Demetrius Alexander.
Just going back and forth and then being discriminated, it's to feel like I'm being discriminated against because I have COVID.
Demetrius tells me he found out he had COVID-19 last week, and he went to vote in Detroit this morning, but was turned away. He was sent to another location where he was told he could vote curbside, but it ended up not being an option.
I just wanted to vote. I still haven't been able to place my vote.
Michigan Secretary of State says overall and so far, things for the most part have been smooth. Few glitches, some longer lines like this one in Sterling Heights. And as of right now, 3.1 million absentee ballots are being counted. Today, Michigan voters will break a record for turnout.
More people will vote in this election than ever before in our state's history. That's what we're on track for. And I'm proud to have been a part of this team effort.
Back out here live, so overall, so far, so good, but I could not stop thinking about Demetrius today, the young man in that story with COVID-19 who wanted to vote. So I put a call into the ACLU, wheels in motion right now to make sure that Demetrius is able to vote curbside, make his voice heard before 8 o'clock tonight. And again, if you experience any issues at the polls, I encourage you to get in touch with me or the Help Me Hank team. You can email me directly at helpmehank@wdib.com. We're live here tonight in Sterling Heights. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Okay, Hank, thank you. And let's get a quick check on some of the other polling places, starting with Mara McDonald in Pontiac. Mara, how's it going there?